In today's video, we're going to make Christmas bread. Now, the reason I call it Christmas bread is because this is the bread that we have every Christmas on Christmas morning. I don't remember when the tradition started, but it's gone on as long as I can remember. And today, I'll show you how to make it. For this recipe, you'll need a half cup of melted butter, 2/3 cup of sugar, 2 1/4 cup of hot milk, a teaspoon of salt. We'll start with that, mix these ingredients together, and I'll continue on with ingredients later. Once these 4 ingredients are mixed together, we'll set this aside and allow it to cool down to be about lukewarm temperature. As we wait for this to cool, go ahead and grab your second part of ingredients. So we'll have 1/4 cup of warm water, should be between 100 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit, as well as a package of active dry yeast. We'll let that yeast stand for about 5 minutes and then come back. Now that the mixture is cooled down and the yeast is active, we'll add the yeast to the mixture. We'll also add 1 egg. Once we have the yeast and the rest of the mixture mixed together, go ahead and add 3 cups of flour. Once you have it all mixed together, we're going to add another 3 cups of flour. Alright, this is our last cup of flour, bringing our total amount of flour to 6 cups. Now that the flour is fully introduced into our bread, let's set that mixture aside and clear a space to roll it out. I'll be using a baking mat again today. If you have a baking mat, that's a great option. If not, you can use a cheesecloth, or you can clean off your countertop and lay something on top. The important thing is that it's a clean space to work. Once you have your space prepared, we'll put it on top of our baking mat. We'll knead this dough for a couple minutes. As you can tell, it's a little sticky. We do want it to get tacky, but we don't want it to get dry. So, at max, add about a cup of flour, but the less is more. Sort of like biscuits, the less you can add to the dough to get it to work, the better. All right. Now that we've worked for a couple minutes and it's still a little tacky, we will take cheesecloth, tea cloth, something of the sort, and cover the bread. Let that rest for 10 minutes and then we'll come back. Now that the dough has rested for 10 minutes, we'll take our towel off, knead the dough again. If it's tacky, it doesn't need any more flour. But if it is sticky, you can add some more flour. When your dough's kneaded, you'll take another bowl, or if you have the same bowl, wash it out and add butter to it. So buttered bowl, take your dough. We'll set it inside the butter bowl. Cover it again with the towel. and set it aside in a warm place to rise. Next, we'll punch down the bread, knead it for a couple minutes, and then split it into 2 parts. Once the dough's in a rectangular shape like this, we'll add 2 more ingredients. Those will be a cube of butter and some cinnamon sugar. Next, we'll spread the butter and the cinnamon sugar over top. Once we have a generous layer of butter and cinnamon sugar, we'll roll the roll together. Now, in order to keep the butter and the cinnamon sugar in the roll, you'll want to lift up the dough as you're rolling it. With all that tucked, we'll transfer it to a pan. I've pre-lined it with a baking sheet. Next, we'll cut a few slits in the bread about 1 inch apart. Last of all, we'll cover this bread, set it aside, and let it double again. With our second half of dough, let's make some cinnamon rolls. We'll start off the same way that we had with the tea ring. Next, we'll add the butter and cinnamon sugar, same as last time. Next, we'll roll it into a large log. I have another tray with another piece of parchment paper, and they're ready. So instead of putting it all together as one big ring this time take thread or unflavored tooth floss. We'll stick it under the roll itself. Come around and pull. And set our little cinnamon roll on the baking sheet. And there we have the cinnamon rolls. Next, we'll let these rise until they double in size. And once that happens, for both these and the tea ring, put these and the tea ring in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. All right, it's been about 25 minutes now. I decided to cut it a little early because I think the bread is ready. Here we have the tea ring and the cinnamon rolls. We'll let those cool down and then add some icing and prepare some fruit. Now that our Christmas bread has cooled down, I've gone ahead and prepared some icing. This icing is just some melted butter, some hot milk, and a bit of powdered sugar. If you'd like to make this on your own, go ahead and start out with about 1/4 cup of butter and about the same of milk, and then just keep adding sugar until it starts to get a syrupy consistency. But without further ado, it's time to ice these breads. And if you have any fruits, specifically cranberries or cherries, it can be a great time to add a little splash of color. And here we have our finished Christmas bread. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in the next video.